Today I'm bringing you along for my very first Dexa Scan. And I'm doing so in the hopes to inspire you to get your own bone density checked. Lately I have talked quite a bit about the importance of muscle mass, not just for overall health and longevity, but also bone density. If you're a woman, especially a woman of a certain age, you have heard the terms osteopenia and osteoporosis. Both of these are scary terms none of us ever want to be diagnosed with. Yet as we age, our chances of losing bone mass increase drastically due to changes in hormones and sarcopenia, or the age-related loss of muscle mass. Both sex hormones such as estrogen and progesterone and muscle mass directly affect bone density, and a decline in both can be detrimental to our bone health, amongst other things. Well, like I said, I have talked about these things quite a bit on my channel, but I have never checked my own bone density. So today, I'm getting my first Dexa Scan to see where I'm at age 55. Not just as far as bone density, but also overall muscle mass, body fat, as well as visceral fat, which is the fat that surrounds our inner organs, such as our heart, liver, intestines, and kidneys. Well, I'm actually a bit nervous to see what my results are going to be, since while I do feel that I'm doing many of the right things now, I lift weights on a regular basis, I perform plyometric exercises to give me some bone strengthening impact, I eat a well-balanced diet, and I am on HRT. Many of you know that I was anorexic for almost 2 decades. And when I said that I never had my bone density tested, that is not completely true. At age 26, I went off the birth control pill I had been on since age 17. And I didn't get a period for over a year. So my doctor back then performed a bone density test, but only of my right foot for whatever reason. But I clearly remember her saying, "Your bones are getting brittle, you better go back on the birth control pill." So at age 26, my bone density was less than desirable. So I am a bit nervous to see what it is at age 55. But knowledge is power. And if my results are not desirable, then there's something I can do about it. And like I said, I am bringing you along in the hopes to inspire you to test your own bone density, since it can literally save your life. Now, I know that sounds a bit dramatic, but studies have shown that fragility fractures sends the risk of premature death skyrocketing, rising by around 50% in both men and women. Hip fractures are particularly dangerous, with 33% of adults over the age of 50 dying within 1 year of fracturing their hips. So measuring your bone density and doing something about it, if the results are less than desirable, can literally save your life. Now, before I take you to get my first Dexa Scan, let's quickly look at what a Dexa Scan even is. A Dexa Scan, also known as a bone density scan, is a medical imaging test that measures bone mineral density. It uses a low dose of X-rays to measure the amount of calcium and other minerals in bones, which helps determine their strength and thickness. Dexa scans are often used to diagnose conditions such as osteopenia and osteoporosis. And in the United States, women are encouraged to get a Dexa scan after the age of 65, which I personally think is a bit late, because at that point, bone density might already be less than desired. So I highly encourage you, no matter what age you are, to get a Dexa scan. This scan that I'm getting costs $75. So even if insurance doesn't cover it, I think that is $75 well spent. Again, knowledge is power. And if my results are less than desirable, I have a backup plan, which I will tell you about after we get the test. So right now, let's go and get my first Dexa scan together. When I got to the office, I had to sign some paperwork, and I was informed that I would be exposed to some low-level radiation. However, the technician told me that the radiation given off by a Dexa scan was about equal to what we would be exposed to on a 1-hour flight. Now, while I'm somebody who avoids all unnecessary radiation, in fact, I always fight with my dentist because I never want x-rays. In my opinion, the benefits of knowing our bone density outweigh the risk. Once I signed all the paperwork, I was told to take off my jewelry because any metal on the body can actually lead to a higher bone density score. And of course, we don't want to cheat. After that, I was told to lay down and to relax as much as possible while the scanner scanned my body inch by inch. Now, of course, there was zero discomfort, and unlike an MRI, for example, if you have ever had an MRI, you know, there was no feeling of claustrophobia, and again, unlike an MRI, the noise the scanner gives off, as you will hear in a second, is very mild.
So, you did that on Wednesday?
So, total mass would be what you usually see on a scale. Lean tissue would be anything that's not fat or bone. So mostly muscle, but also any ligaments, tendons, organs, even food or water would be in there. Fat would just be fat. So here's where you're at today. Below is a chart of some averages of people that have done Dexa scans. So out of about 100,000 scans, there should be people in this country. These are what they're averaging. So people in your age group are averaging about 40%. So you can see you're far, far below that, far into our top 10% as well.
Well,
So,
that's
yeah,
good.
Yeah, that's great. And then we'll get to your visceral fat. You familiar with what that is?
Yep.
So fat around your organs. You don't have much. We got 0.12 pounds today. I don't have an exact number for you as far as what amount could be potentially more harmful. About 4.5 pounds has been the most recent research, but that has not been validated quite yet. We do know the less the better. 0 is as good as you can get, and you're almost at 0.
Okay, good.
Doing great, yeah. And this is you, little visual. Yellow being the fat, orange being the lean. And then we just break you down by section. So trunk would be from your chin to your hips, that big rectangle. Android is just your belly and back, right here in the center. And then gyno would be this triangle-shaped top of your hip bones to your inner thighs, a little bit of your glutes in the back. Most of your glutes, though, will be in the legs. So we'll just break all that down by numbers on this page. Most women store their fat a little bit down here, whereas men are a little bit higher. So that's kind of normal to see a little bit higher on the lower region. And then your arms will have total, and then right and left. It's normal for them to be a little different as well.
Okay.
Then your legs, same thing, total right and left.
So interesting.
Yeah. Then we'll get to your bone density. I know you're interested in that. So 2 scores for that. A T-score compares you to a healthy 30-year-old. That's usually in life when you would peak at your bone density. You're at a positive 2.7. Anything over -1 is considered normal. So you are very much normal. Flying colors above normal.
Good.
Then a Z-score, it just compares you to someone your age now. So 3.6, you are off the charts. Bones are fantastic. So I'm glad that you back up your all the things that I'm sure you preach at.
Doing the right things.
Yeah, no, that's one of the highest. It's definitely one of the highest I've seen. So that's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
that makes me happy.
Yeah. And the last thing is not based off your scan, only an estimation we like to include, only based off your height, weight, and age. So
Okay.
if you laid in bed for 24 hours and didn't do anything at all, it's about how many calories you'd burn.
Okay.
If your metabolism was completely normal.
So this was my very first Dexa scan, and can I just tell you, I am really relieved. In fact, I am super happy about these results. And it just shows you, no matter what you did in the past, again, my bones were getting brittle at age 26. So no matter what you did in the past, once you start doing some of the right things, you can start moving into the right direction. And I really hope this encouraged you to test your own bone density. Again, knowledge is power. And if you test and your results are less than desirable, there are things you can do. Start lifting weights. If you are already lifting weights, lift a bit heavier. Do some plyometrics for some bone strengthening impact. Talk to your doctor about HRT if you think you are a candidate. Though in one of the videos I talked about earlier, I did quote a study that showed that women who are in menopause, who are not on HRT, can still positively affect their bone density by lifting weights. You could get a weighted vest, which was my backup plan. In fact, I already had some in my Amazon cart. I was going to get a weighted vest, like an 11-pound or so vest, and wear it while going on walks and cleaning the house. If you smoke, stop smoking, because smoking negatively affects bone density and many other things. You could talk to your doctor about some other things you could do as far as nutrition and lifestyle. But again, knowledge is power. So I really highly encourage you, no matter what age, test your bone density. If your insurance doesn't pay for it, the test I took again was $75. I live in San Diego, and this is not a cheap place. So maybe where you are, it is even less expensive. Now I know somebody's going to ask me about supplements. While I take my share of supplements, I don't take any supplements that directly affect my bone health. I don't take calcium. I don't use a collagen supplement. I just about 4 weeks ago started using a collagen, A collagen activator. So not collagen, but a collagen activator, which contains glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline, the 3 amino acids needed for collagen production, and some other ingredients. Again, I started that 4 weeks ago. The results we just looked at are not from that. I just started that one to see would it positively affect my skin, hair, nails, and so on. But I haven't taken and am not taking any supplements that directly affect my bone health. I eat a well-balanced diet. I eat a plant-based diet. I lift weights regularly. I get regular impact. And of course, I am on HRT and have been on the program I am on now since I was 39 years old. So again, I hope this video was helpful, and I hope it encouraged you to test your own bone density. If you already have and you don't mind sharing in the comments, please let us know. And also again, if you don't mind sharing, let us know if you tested and your results were less than desirable. Did you do something to improve them? What was it? And how did it affect your results? Any other questions or comments, of course, please share them down below. Always love to hear from you. And that's it for this video. And thank you so much for being here. Until next time, bye.